Looking for Beachcomber's Gold, huh? Sorry. But hey, maybe I can interest you in a Beachcomber's Gold recipe, or maybe even a Beachcomber's Punch. It's got everything. It's got apricot brandy, grapefruit juice, lime, Demerara rum, Pernod. So sifting for gold in the sands of tiki recipes can be tricky since everyone's taste can be pretty subjective. But today we wanted to look at two recipes where there seems to be a general consensus, one widely loved and one widely hated. What's more is they actually share similar namesakes and yet sit at extreme ends of the flavor scale, the Beachcomber's Punch and the Beachcomber's Gold. Both these cocktails were created specifically for the Chicago location of Don the Beachcombers, with the Beachcomber's Punch coming first in the 1960s and then the Beachcomber's Gold coming later in the 1970s. It's worth noting that the Beachcomber's Gold is actually a Chicago-specific riff on the original 1937 Hollywood Don the Beachcombers recipe, and frankly, the two recipes have very little in common. I'm not sure exactly what inspired such a dramatic revamp, but my estimation would be the waning popularity of juicy rum cocktails in the 1970s that was then replaced by much drier recipes in the years to come. It's actually funny to me to think that there was a bar where in theory you could order both these recipes side by side. So hey, let's do that right now. We'll go chronologically with that Beachcomber's Punch coming first, which contains lime, grapefruit juice, Angostura bitters, simple syrup, Demerara rum, apricot brandy, and Pernod, or Absinthe. All right, part one. We'll start with the lime, grapefruit juice, and apricot brandy. I'm using Rothman and Winter. Half ounce of simple. 1.5 ounces of Demerara rum using El Dorado 12. 6 drops of Pernod or Absinthe. Just to experiment a bit, we're actually going to go with Absinthe in this case. This stuff will actually kill you. Billion proof. Tastes like fire and licorice. It's like the worst Mike and Ike you've ever had. And finally, a dash of good old Angostura bitters. My bitters thing is broken, so it took 100 dashes to equal 1 dash. All right, let's pour it into our shaker. Add several cubes of ice for shaking. 2, of course, chill the drink. Also just sounds good. Right. Ooh, definitely smell that absinthe. Now, normally this is served in a Pilsner glass. We're going to use a Collins glass in its place. Serve this over crushed ice. Now, let's just strain it in. Ooh. Stick a straw in. And there it is, Beachcomber's Punch. Now, normally we would taste it here, but we're going to wait till we make the other one and then sample them side by side. So what's in this infamous Beachcomber's Gold recipe anyway? Well, it's red vermouth, dry vermouth, Angostura bitters, light rum, and Pernod. Sounds terrible already. Let's get started. 1.5 ounces of light rum, we're using Bacardi in this case. Half ounce of dry vermouth, using Dolan. Half ounce of sweet vermouth, using Antica. 6 drops of Pernod. This actually does specifically ask for Pernod, so here we go. And also a dash of Angostura bitters. Still broken. All right, let's shake this guy up, pour it in. Add a couple ice cubes. Dilute it a bit, of course. Also just sounds cool. Now, if you wanted to have this drink at home the way it was traditionally served, you would do it in a coupe glass with an ice shelf on the side. In order to make one of those, you'll take a coupe glass, put a bed of finely shaved ice on the bottom of the coupe, flatten it out using a glass or carefully with your hands, and once appropriately chilled, press it up the side of the glass and then put it in the freezer overnight. And hey, here it is. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? We're gonna put a little bit more crushed ice into the side of it just to fill it out a little more. Now, let's strain it in. See if there's enough room in there. Just barely. There it is, Beachcomber's Gold. Wow, I can't remember the last time I had these two drinks. Oh wait, yes I do. Remember earlier when I talked about having these two drinks at the same bar? Well, Tonga Hut's Grog Log Challenge, which we talked about earlier in the Mojave Punch episode, actually has these two drinks as part of their journey. So the last time I had these was in the summer of 2013 when I was doing my Grog Log Challenge. So let me don my Grog Log fez and then see how I like them now. Hey, look, it looks like I really enjoyed this one. Let's see if it holds up. Oh yeah, it's still a really, really good drink. It's sweet, but not too sweet. It's actually very well rounded considering all the ingredients. All right, now onto the Beachcomber's Gold. Hey, there I am. Looks like I downed it pretty good. Let's see how my tastes have changed. Yes, it is still pretty terrible. Hey, look, looks like I didn't enjoy it very much back then either. Both these recipes are definitely worth giving a try, if anything, just to experience the full gamut of flavors. With Beachcomber's Punch definitely being on that sweeter but nicely balanced side, and the Beachcomber's Gold a little bit like drinking out of an ashtray. Well, that's the show. Thanks for joining us on this interesting flavor tour. If you like this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribing so you don't miss out on future cocktail recipes and tiki adventures. Until then, cheers. Not you. The Beachcomber's cold. It is cold, it's Chicago. Beachcomber's cold. Oh no, I poured in too much. I guess I better drink some. Now, if you wanted to have this drink in the traditional way, you would just pour it down the sink. Alcoholics, please turn your tassels to the other side. Congratulations, you are now graduates of Booze University, also known as Alcoholage.